Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is May the 13th, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well and good spirits with high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good, feeling pretty well. I'm a little bit sleepy, but I've been very effective today. I got my laundry done. I got some donuts. They were very yummy. I got this like huge croissant cinnamon roll kind of thing. I don't know, or maybe the croissant's not the right word. I don't know. They did something to it. It was like I can't think of the word, but it was very good. It was yummy. It was huge. Then I also got like a raspberry filled thing. It was yum. It was good. Fried. It was fried. Oh my gosh. I was thinking of the C. No, it wasn't a fried croissant. They do sell those, but it was a fried cinnamon roll, pretty much. Like, I don't know. It was awesome. Let's see. Other than that, there's not too much to report on the food. We've just been chilling. So we can go and get into some news, get right to it. From the BBC, Imran Khan leaves court after being granted bail. So this is an update on Imran Khan. He last we left it, he had been arrested, and people were protesting in the streets. A lot of activity going on in protest to him being locked up. What he was saying unfairly, what his people were saying were unfairly, and it seems like the Supreme Court, Pakistan Supreme Court has said, yeah, we agree. This is not okay. This wasn't allowed. I think they especially said that like how he was arrested wasn't right. Like he was in the process of being charged for something, and his due process was interrupted for that. So like that wasn't okay. That being said, like the process seemed to take like an extra couple days or so to get him out, to get like the right kind of bail, things like that. And not to mention the charges though still stand, so he's still going to have to like come back in court and face those among other charges that he's up against. So outside of that, I mean, there's been also a lot of arrests too. Outside, I think there's been noted 10 deaths and about 2,000 arrests. I believe a military official's house was like besieged by people. So people are definitely out. They are definitely in favor of Khan. There's a lot of people, on his side over this. So, we'll see how things unfold. If the charges don't go his way, then, I think he could be facing like, actual prison time. Obviously, they had him in jail for some shit. But potentially, I think probably the biggest thing for him, he just won't be able to run again for prime minister. And I think that's something that is seemingly very important to him. But I mean, yeah, things are definitely in like this almost like this three-way free for all between Khan and the government and then the military. So, just wanted to give a good update there. Just everybody knows what's going on in Pakistan a little bit. Let's see here. From the Guardian, rail strikes. Trains halted as passengers face weekend of disruption. Rail services have been brought to a standstill across much of Great Britain after train drivers on Friday began the first of the latest wave of planned strikes and a long-running pay dispute. There are two big like strike labor unions crews. There is the ASLEF, and they started their 24-hour strike, which I believe, so that was like Friday. But then there is also the RMT, and they were starting their strike on Saturday. And now the timing of this is really big. Now, granted, the union has said, hey, we didn't plan this. It's just how it kind of shook out because this was the latest. This is the soonest that we could do a strike, given the parameters of things. Like since they last asked for a pay raise and it was denied. So this is a big deal this weekend because apparently there's Eurovision. It's been something it's an annual thing. It's almost the best way I can describe it. It's like America's Got Talent or something, or like American Idol is probably a better descriptor, but it's like way bigger because it's an international thing. So people all across the world are coming, and it's very country specific, so everyone's rooting for their own, groups and stuff to like do well. So I get the value here. Now Ukraine had won last year, but obviously for reasons, for the war and everything going on, they couldn't have it there safely. So Britain often to host it. I believe it's in Liverpool. So this is obviously a lot of people coming to Britain, for the festivities. They need to use the trains to get where they need to go. So having disruptions like this are really big, really major. Now that being said, I feel like the union shouldn't have to say all this shit. At the end of the day, like they should be getting paid what they're worth. Like this just goes to show how important these people are. And I believe that when they finally got to sit down with people, they were only offered no more than like 4%. And they're like, no, we're not accepting that. We want more. Now, I don't know exactly what's the number they're looking for, but I mean, 4% over 4 years is not enough. And I get that. I totally understand that. It's one of those things too, where it seems like the higher ups, the people that be, they just want to make sure that shareholders, the people who are investing, they get their monies. The top people of the company get theirs, but at the end of the day, the people who are actually working the rails aren't getting what they need to live. And we've said it before, where it's like the situation going on in Britain, it's very heightened. I mean, it's like that everywhere with inflation, everything going on, all the fucking world issues. Shit's not easy. It's not a fucking cakewalk out here. So I think these motherfuckers should be ponying up more money, and I don't care if people can't, see their hot new Euro sensation. Like, nah, it's like motherfuckers should be getting paid, right? So yeah, we definitely support this strike for sure. And hopefully we see some good positive movement. And that being said, obviously I hope people get to see the the Eurovision show. Like I only hear little clips and stuff when I'm listening on the BBC, but I mean it seems like those guys going hard, guys and gals, everybody, So hell yeah. Moving along here from CBS News. Body of missing CEO found over a year after he texted 911 and vanished. The body of a sober living advocate and chief executive officer was found in California more than a year after he went missing, said the police on Monday. Bo Mann, 39 years old, was the founder and CEO of Sober Grid, a digital health company that provides mental health addiction care in the United States and internationally with services including peer recovery counseling and social networking. Mann founded the company in 2015. His remains were found in Santa Monica Boulevard. Let's see. And it was identified as Mann's body May 6th. Let's see. It seems like December of 2021, Mann was reported missing to the Los Angeles Police Department. He had last been seen November 30th of that year. And that is like after he had left a store, he had texted 911 and wasn't heard from again. So not sure exactly what was the cause of death, reasons for his disappearance. I believe the coroner is currently working on that, trying to figure that out. So, hopefully I can, find some updates there. Not to be too morbidly curious or anything like that, but it seems like, this person had a really big impact and had a really great goal in mind. So, obviously it's sad just to kind of see his life cut short, and I'm sure people are looking for answers and would like answers, like family, friends, stuff like that. I'll read a quote here before we move to the next thing. We want to thank all of those people, all those who helped us search for him and who prayed for Bo's safe return over the past year and a half. Bo is a beautiful soul who spent the better part of his life helping others. We miss his infectious smile and positive attitude every day. We know his spirit will live on through his company and passion, Sober Grid, as it continues to help those struggling with the grip of addiction. The family said in a statement provided to CBS Los Angeles. Let's see here. Now we got one more thing to go, and we're just kind of zipping along here today. Felt like being efficient. Maybe I'll get a nap in after this. Who knows? Also, sorry if you're hearing any jamming in the background. My neighbors are having a good Saturday, and I don't blame them for that. This is a nice, good time of day to be doing that. I have no beef. I got this from the AFP. Biggest ever Colombian narco ship, sub intercepted. I will say though, it does kind of look like a ship. I typically, when I see a submarine, I'm thinking like an old school kind of World War II situation. But the speedboats now are more or less ones that like stay like more or less on the surface of the water. They're like, I guess, more or less submerged or partially submerged. I don't fucking know. But they almost look like super long speedboats. At least the one I'm looking at here. It's in the thumbnail. But the largest Colombian narco sub ever recorded, some 30 meters or 100 feet long and 3 meters wide, has been decommissioned in the Pacific with 3 tons of cocaine found on board. The country's Navy reported on Friday. Yeah, the semi-submersible vessel, so it's not a complete sub, was intercepted Tuesday on its way to Central America, one of the most common routes for drug smuggling in the United States, the world's largest consumer of Colombian cocaine. I believe that. We do like our coke. Um, let's see. They don't have the names of the people, but one person was 45, the other was 54, and the other was 63. They claim that they were being forced by drug trafficking organization to take the sub to Central America. I'm sure though that authorities are not buying that and are probably gonna, peg these guys for the full extent of the law. Let's see. They say this is a really huge blow, which I think that's a poor use of the term blow. But the seizure represented a blow of some $103 million to the drug trade, said the Navy. And I don't know. To that I say womp womp, because when you're talking about dollars and drugs and stuff like that, like, who does that really affect? Like, this is drug money. Like, I know people go, oh, crime. Oh, like, you're keeping this drugs off the street. No, the fuck you're not. You're not. Like, I can tell you that one thing that is inevitable, people will get their fix. That is the fucking truth. If you go full hog and actually stop one drug from getting distributed, people will find another drug to distribute. That's just how this goes. And usually it'll probably be a worse drug. I don't know. It's weird to me that they always do the thing where they hype up these things. Like, look at this biggest amount. Oh my gosh. Like, as if that shows efficiency, as if that shows that they're doing fucking something. Like, nah, man, you just stop some coke from getting to America. Like, whoop-de-fucking-do. That being said, it is a cool boat. So I wanted to kind of just talk about that. And I do like talking about drugs. So here we are. But yeah, this was the highest figure since the monitoring began 21 years earlier, and went hand in hand with the rise of cocaine production, blah, blah. They're just talking about the life of cocaine here a little bit, from plant to powder, from plant to yowda. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to support the podcast, there is a way you can. There's plenty of ways, actually. We can get into that. But financially, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/LaZanews. I do bonus episodes every week. Also, you get a hot link to the Discord, but the Discord is free. You just gotta, just get the link, sign in, whatever, do your thing. You're there. Whoopoo, wave. Also, I have newsy shout-outs that I do every month. And I say your name, and then I also plug whatever project you're on, things you're doing, a little exchange there. And I also have a Gmail account for the free way to hit me up, isaiahnews1@gmail.com. And then also I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, all that fun stuff. So yeah, free ways to hit me up though, and also support just commenting, sharing my stuff, things like that. That's always cool. It's always a dope thing to do. Really appreciate that if you'd like. But then also sending me news. I love news. Like, one, it's just fun to talk about. I might not always talk about it on the podcast, but I love just exchanging the information of news. I love that kind of small talk. But yeah, that's definitely one way to support the pod for sure, for sure. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love you. Bye-bye. Mwah.